Hey guys, Chesapeake here. Figured I'd do a little video on insulation and cost and how you can go, there's extreme range of insulation thicknesses and ratings and price range, and you can get a lot of inexpensive stuff to get you down to low temperatures, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. So I figured I'd go from one extreme to the other and show you guys, there's a big range, and you should get what works for you. I've kind of got all my stuff laid out here, and as you can see, I don't need and I don't have to have $300 top quilt and a $300 under quilt, but I do. But they have a certain purpose. But you can also get something really inexpensive or budget, and it's got a purpose too. And that's what really matters: what you need and what you're going to use it for. So let's get right in here. Start right here. I've got my deep winter set up, I guess. My War Bonnet XLC with my hammock gear minus 10-degree incubator. Get the tag there. I guess not. Can't see it. My TQZQ under quilt protector and my winter top cover on the XLC. And then inside I can use my minus 10-degree burrow. These two quilts together were over $600, but they've got a minus 10-degree rating. Got ridgeline quilt hooks. This will take me down as low as I could ever want to. I could take this off and under quilt protector off and use the War Bonnet XL sock if I wanted to. Got options. It's 11 feet long, so I could use this or those two on the outside. All depends on, weight, what I'm doing, the precipitation, all kinds of stuff, how cold it is. So I just got options, and that's good. And then over here, I've got my 1.6 argon hammock that I made with my Costco down throw that I bought off the forum. Somebody overstuffed it for me. Somebody made it for me. I've got a matching top quilt that I'll show you in a second. And I think all in it was $60. I overstuffed the top quilt myself. And with the amount of down that's in it and the other one and the top quilt with the travel sock, I've been to just a little below 40, which isn't bad for a Costco underquilt. So inside, I've got my hammock gear econ pillow, and this is the hammock I sleep with most nights inside. I've got continuous loops and whoopies on it, so I can kind of, however kind of length hang I've got, I can kind of adjust on the fly if I need to. So let's move on up here. I've got Snugpak cocoon, $65 on Amazon. Yeah, depending on how tall you are, you might be able to get a diagonal lay. I'm 5'7", and I can get completely flat in it. If you're a little bit taller, you might not be able to. But, about a year or so ago, they redesigned and upgraded it. It's got a huge baffle inside now. No snag zipper. Zipper pulls, textured zipper pulls. It's got an interior pocket. To keep the ends closed, I just add a little mini carabiner, and that cinches the ends around the hammock, so no gap at all. As far as weight goes, it's on the heavy side, 69 ounces. But it's 118 inches long and 34 inches wide. So if you got $60 and you want a cocoon, that's, the outside is their D.I.Y treated fabric, and inside is their it's antimicrobial. So that's a good option. Here's my hammock gear, minus 10-degree burrow. I won't go over it, but you can see it in the video I've already done. But it's, it's extremely light. Right here I've got my hammock gear quilt. It was like $30 on Amazon. 29 ounces, 73 long, 39 wide. Normally they come with wings on each side, but I had jellyfish take them off and add them to the bottom of the foot box. You can see here, that's the foot box normally, but now it's a lot wider for me. So that's nice. And this is one of the older models, and it's actually stitched, the Snugpak logo stitched onto it. And this is good down to 32 degrees. The cocoon, 25 or so I've used it. Here is a climate shield, 6-ounce climate shield top quilt that I got when I bought my CDT set. Yeah, as I said, 6 ounce. It's got a really long foot box in it, as you can see there. Super comfortable, super soft. Got an end cinch, and it's pretty lightweight. Here I've got my Costco top quilt. I added a whole extra vest full of down, shortened it a little bit, added a nice baffle at the end here. So it's super comfortable. It's got a sewn foot box. Let's see here. There you go. You can just see the loft it's got in it. And around 40 degrees is the limit for me with this. I'm a pretty cold sleeper. It's the Black Diamond brand, double Black Diamond brand. Here I've got, so you can get these for $20 or so online, or you can go to Bed Bath Beyond and pick them up. So you can go from $300 to $20. Just options, just what you need, what you're going to use it for. Here I've got a OneTigris under quilt, $55. I believe I got it on Amazon. Again, $55, and it's rated to 10 degrees. Synthetic. I've used it to 17 degrees. It's got, decent amount of loft, but it's on the short side. It's really made for shorter, mass-produced, 9.5 foot or so hammocks. But I've used it on my 11 footers. Just kind of had to modify the suspension a little bit, add some longer shock cord. But again, if that's, it's still a little on the heavy side, but it's, it's 20D on the outside, a little softer on the inside. It's ripstop, but $55, 10 degrees. You can't beat it. It just, comes with a nice stuff sack. So here I've got my Snugpak under quilt. I did a video on that. It's not too bad. It's a little on the heavy side comparatively, but 51 ounces, 83 inches long, 58 inches wide. So, it's not too terribly heavy. I wouldn't, go, hike the AT with it or anything like that. But, you can manage with it if that's, that's all you've got, that's all you're able to get. It's doable. And again, 32 degrees or so with that. Here I've got the Snugpak Thermalon bag liner. And it's almost kind of got like a wool feel to it, but it's really soft. It's got a cinch at the end. And then I've got an Ozark Trail bag liner that I cut up the middle on the back to give it a top quilt shape. And it's got a really wide foot box. So either one of these, I can boost either one of those, temperature a little bit to get a little bit more warmth out of it, or I can keep my, my quilts a little cleaner in the summertime when it's, a little hot or sweaty. So, more options. And that's really what you want, is give yourself as many options as you can to keep yourself warm. Here I've got one of the first things I bought is an Ozark Trail mummy bag. It's a 30 degree, supposedly, I've used it to about 40. And you can use it as a top quilt by just keeping the bottom part of the foot box zipped up, flip it over, and then you've got a top quilt with a hood on it. I believe I paid like $35, $40 for it. Here I've got the USGI Green Patrol bag, $10 on Amazon. That, can't beat it. You can use it on the ground. You can, just like any other sleeping bag, you can zip a foot box into it, turn it over, and you've got a top quilt. Here I've got a couple different kinds of pads. This is an ab roller pad. It is heavy, it is thick, but if you don't have a pad and you have something like this and you want to hang it home, try it. It might work, it might not work, but it'll keep you warm if you can get it to fit in there, right? Why not? You're not going to hike with it. You just want to give hammocking a try. It's pretty wide. It's nice and soft. It can be blown up a little bit. You know, it's going to not going to let any moisture out, so you might sweat a little bit, but it'll keep you warm, and that's what you need to do. You can deal with the condensation. Here's the ever popular blue CCF pad from Walmart. Put a couple holes in it for some ventilation, cut it down, and then, this was the first pad I ever had. This the first installation, I had this and that sleeping bag right there. And I used that for a couple of months before I got my Snugpak stuff. And it works. Here's some Reflectix. Comes in a huge roll. Get it at the hardware store. You can use it for sit pads. You can use it for a little piece inside your pack. You can use it under your butt. You can use it anywhere. So you really just want to give yourself options. That's the main thing. You can go from a $10 roller Reflectix all the way up to a $600 minus 10 degree set and everything in between. And they'll all keep you warm. But it's what you need, how much money you can spend, and what you're going to use it for. Because everybody's situation is different. Everybody's circumstances are different. So you might need something like this that's super light, super full of super feathers. But then again, you might be able to get away with a Costco set or the OneTigris. I've also got a $20 Sabito underquilt. That's the same shape and size as that, but it's like a 50 degree from China. It was like $25, $30, something like that. And then over here, I've just got a couple other little things to keep me warm. Got the Hammock Forms buff that I got from Dutch. I've got a synthetic beanie I got from a gas station that I've had for like 5 years now. Love it. These down booties, I think they're Eddie Bauer. I got them online. Brand new. I think they're like $40, something like that. And they are beyond warm. Got my AG hat there. Something like this, though, I got from Walmart. It's synthetic. It's real light. It breathes. And it's got thumb holes. So this is great at night if you need something light over top of you to layer in your hammock. So that's currently what I'm working with for, fall and winter. The kind of options I have, the kind of options you have if you're just getting into hammocking. You don't know where to start. There's a lot of different directions you can go. You can go with super expensive down quilts. You can go with a little bit heavier Snugpak stuff that'll get you to 32 degrees. You can go with D.I.Y stuff like that, or the Costco. Something like the OneTigris that's kind of heavy, kind of small, but it'll get you to 10 degrees. There's the Snugpak underquilt. A little heavy, but it'll get you to 32 degrees. Bag liners are great because they're cheap and they'll keep your top quilts clean, your hammocks clean, and they'll boost the temperature of your top quilt a couple degrees. A cheap old sleeping bag. Sometimes that's the first thing and only thing you've got, but it works. You can get in it, stand inside it first, and then get in your hammock, or you can just zip it into a foot box, turn it over, and you've got a top quilt. You got an old, you were in the Army a bunch of years ago, and you've got a sleeping bag, a USGI sleeping bag, or you pick one up off of Amazon for 10, 20 bucks. You can get the green patrol bag, the black intermediate bag. Either one works great in a hammock, just like any sleeping bag. It's just, if you know how to use it. You got a old exercise pad in your garage collecting dust. Use it in the backyard. You're not going hiking with it, but it'll keep you warm. You can pick up a roller Reflectix or a CCF pad from Walmart or the hardware store. Pick some holes in it for some airflow, and they'll do just as good, and to a certain extent as one of these underquilts over here, if you use it correctly. You've got the overstuffed Costco quilt that, even though it's sewn through construction, using it with an underquilt protector or a sock will let you get down to a little bit lower temperature than you might not have been able to before if you dress properly. if you're hydrated, if you've got if you've got fuel in your stomach to keep you warm at night. And then you've got your down quilts, super deep winter, 0 degree, 10 degree, -10 degree quilts from cottage vendors that are absolutely amazing, made with super light materials like argon and the other fabrics that other vendors use. You've got hammocks with top covers like this war bonnet or the Dutch chameleon, underquilt protector like this from TQZQ. So you've got lots of options. And that's the main thing. It's all, like I said before, it's what you can spend and what you need it for. And that's what works best for you. So I hope this was kind of informative for everybody. Kind of give you an idea of what I use, how I use it, and that you can too. You don't need a bunch of money to be warm this winter and be happy in a hammock. Because you've got to be warm, and you don't need a bunch of money to do it. You just got to be smart. Use the right clothes and use the right system, because it is a system. Use the right tarp. I don't have my tarp set up, but in the winter I use my old man winter tarp. But if you don't have a winter tarp, use a sock. Hell, drape a blanket over your ridgeline if you have to. There are ways to stay warm for not a lot of money. I think that's forgotten a lot, because we do have so many nice cottage vendors that can be on the pricey side. But now with the econ lines that have been released, the economy budget lines from a lot of the vendors, so the prices on stuff, most people can afford a 0 degree top quilt now, where before it was, closer to $200-300. Now you can get it for a little less than $200. So you don't need a $300 -10 degree top quilt. You can go with an econ top quilt from Hammock Gear, or Saber Series, or whatever vendor you like, and go that kind of budget route. It's going to keep you just as warm as this. If this were a 0 degree and you had a 0 degree budget, your econ line kind of underquilt next to it, they would both keep you just as warm. The budget one might be a little bit heavier, but it's going to keep you just as warm, and that's what matters. See, like I said, you don't need a lot of money to stay warm. I hope I showed everybody that. So this is Chesapeake on a beautiful fall day here on the Chesapeake Bay. Supposed to be like in the 30s tonight for the first time. So I'm going to try to use my my new -10 degree underquilt. I'm going to have to vent it, but I'm going to use it, you better believe. So if you got any questions on any of the stuff I talked about, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.